Why did you write this book?
So it's interesting, you know, when I was thinking about the context of this book, two questions really kept popping up in my head. You know, my firm, we've been doing consulting work for 7 years and worked, as Ali said, with about 75 large companies on sustainability. And this thing just kept rattling with me. I would go to conference after conference and I would say, why 20 years later do we still only have like 2 examples of companies that have integrated sustainability all the way through? We always hear Interface Carpet. You hear Patagonia thrown out there. Of course, if you're from REI or anyone else, you're slamming what Patagonia's not doing. But I just kept thinking, why is it that nobody else has done this when the business case is so strong, the message has been out there for 20 years, it seems like such a no-brainer, such a no-regret strategy that a company could do, and why aren't more companies do it? So that was the first question that I was trying to answer. And then last August, when that thought started really going to my head, Ruth and I were working on a bid proposal with a company that decided that it wanted to be the greenest company in its entire industry. And so we flew out to Vermont and interviewed with this company, and they were saying, well, what really needs to happen if we want to truly integrate sustainability? And in the course of the interview, we laid out the strategy for them, said, these are all the things you need to do. And they nodded politely and then decided not to do it. And I just kind of thought, now, okay, so they asked for this, we told them what to do, and then they didn't do it. So what else is going on here? So I realized that it wasn't just a question about what to do, but it was also how to do it. And so as I started thinking through, okay, what are the steps that are needed there? And I kept coming back to there's these true 11 steps that need to happen, and I organized the book around that. And continually I kept thinking, well, if they know the 11 steps, why aren't they doing it? I realized that the book needed to be about the what, but it really needed to be much more about the how. Because as much as we can consult with companies, we find that there's all these change management behavior issues that need to really be truly addressed. And I thought, well, you know, we've worked with all these companies, and in all these different sections, we have examples that have worked and haven't worked. And so I started just pulling case studies from my client work and things that we knew. And pretty quickly we found that here we had a book that could say, here's what to do, here's a case study, here's an activity that you can do that you can take within your firm. And the book just started self-organizing around those principles. And so really I didn't set out with any grand plan to write a blueprint for sustainable implementation, but that's kind of what came out of it.